Hello there, YouTube. What is going on now? It's me, Gabriel Nagel here, founder of Weather Buddies Forecasting Central. I got a quick, actually got an announcement I want to share with you all, and this announcement is gonna explain why I have not been active for a while. Which I just want to kind of come to you guys and say I'm sorry for not being active for a while, but I'm gonna start being active a little bit more, and I'll explain to you real quickly in this announcement before I get to my main forecast of why I've been absent for a while and figuring out a new weather system that I could use to be able to make my forecasting videos. So, just to quickly share with you all, I have been absent for a while because when I was making my YouTube content, it would take me up to 3 to 5 hours a day to make the videos. So I would be up pretty much all night long making the content for the videos, partly why my sleep schedule is messed up right now. And then it would take me another hour to two to upload to YouTube. So it took pretty much half of the day, to almost half of the day to make my weather content. So I was trying to come up with a system, a forecasting system that I could use that could actually be beneficial for not just obviously me, but for also my audience. So in my forecast videos, I noticed they were coming in about 20 to 30 minutes long, which I know some people like long-term weather forecast or long video weather forecasts, but I know a lot of you don't really like extremely long videos. Yeah, being in depth, yes, but this is partly the reason, another reason why I am trying out this new system, and I'm gonna probably go with it for the next few videos to see how well it works out. So here's what I have finally put into my thought process of how I would do this. And so, in my slides, as you know, I have several different slides, which takes me about 2 hours to make. I go to Tropical Tidbits and I copy, pretty much every single frame there, and then I take it into my slides. And the reason why it takes so long to make is because I have to line each and every individual frame to be able to make sure that it looks right and that the orientation of the frame is not off. Which, like I said, takes about 2 hours to make. So then now, I would also go over and I would copy about 10 days worth, usually anywhere from 5 to 10 days worth of slides on a single model slide. The other reason why I'm doing this new system is because those doing it that way I was doing it wasn't very accurate. Number one, when you're taking model forecasts from the models and putting them into your slides, number one, depending on what time of day you're going to upload, the orientation of the slides are going to change. So basically, the maps from each and every individual model would take. And I always have to click on a different 24-hour increment, which also took time to do because I have to figure out what time of the day where these models are going to be showing the weather. So that also was very hard for me to do. It was extremely difficult and stressful. At times I'd get kind of frustrated. And then on top of that, not only am I making multiple slides and obviously single frames for each and every individual model, I'm also doing about 3 to 4 different models, which adding the 2 hours that I'm already making the slides adds another additional hour to be able to making the to be able to take each and every individual forecast and copy and paste. And again, it's extremely difficult to do, so this new system definitely should be able to benefit that. And the number 2 or number 4, number 3 or number 4, I'm not sure where I left off at there, but I also had to make my own maps, which also took about another 30 minutes to an hour. So I'm already tacking on about 4 hours there, guys, that I am making the content. And then, not only that, but when I am done making the video, I get to the point where I have to upload it to YouTube. I have to actually do a little tiny bit of editing in the video to make sure that it fits, and then I have to upload it to YouTube, which that also takes about maybe another hour to 2, depending on how long the video is. And because my videos were long, it would take about an hour and a half for it to get uploaded to YouTube, despite me having a good connection. So that is already about 6.5 hours if I added that right. That's a lot of time. It's time consuming. So I'm gonna get to the forecast here in a minute, but I wanted just to explain to you guys that that's why I'm going to be doing this new system. So in this new system, which you will see when I go do the forecast, I'm only going to have 3 different slides. I'm going to have an overall weather forecast map, which would be usually towards the end. I'm going to have a precipitation map and a temperature map, which will be towards the beginning. In the forecast map, though, I will break down what the map is explaining. I'll be able to break down like where storms are going to be going. I'll use my Epic Pen, obviously, to break down region by region as best as I can to be able to tell you where there's going to be more active weather on this overall forecast map and where there's going to be pretty much no weather, or well, quieter weather, which would be areas where it'd be unusually quiet. So this is going to be it's going to be basically one overall forecast map broken down into several different, usually about a week to a week and 3 days. I hope that you guys I hope you guys will like my new mapping system, again. And my thumbnails are actually going to display the overall, forecast map in my thumbnails of my videos. That's going to be something also I'm going to add to this. So that way you guys have an idea what the overall forecast will look like when you go just check my videos. So also that doesn't make it look like I'm faking stuff and stuff like that. Because I know I have came across a lot of weather YouTubers who are sadly doing some stuff that clickbaity and all that. So yeah, that's why I'm doing that. Just for the safety of my own channel and so that I'm not ripping you guys off. Alright, so I'm about to get started. I just wanted to share that announcement with you. So this video is going to be a little bit longer. I do apologize, but I wanted to share that with you and why I've been gone and figure out a new system and be able to explain to you what the new system would look like. Alright, so let's get started with the video. And before we do, I hope that you guys give the video a thumbs up, share with family and friends if you have any, and subscribe to the channel. And also just do everything you guys can to support the channel, because I'm going to be a little bit more active now. Alright, let's get started. Alrighty, here we go. Here we're going to start our U.S. weather forecast. So, this is going to be as of November 19th, 2024. This is going to be valid for the next day or two. So let's go ahead and get started. As according to this pattern, we may be seeing multiple storms crossing the United States. This is going to be an interesting type of weather pattern that we're going to be seeing, because some of these storms are going to kind of dive into like the southern part of the United States and then quickly shoot northward, which will, like I said, my overall forecast at the end of the video will be able to explain that. We'll break that down. Alright, let's get started with the first slide. So, here's my precipitation forecast. So this is basically what this system is going to look like. As you can tell, it's going to be above average pretty much through this whole entire northwest and northern region area of the United States, while the Ohio River Valley and parts of the Midwest will have a little bit of a storm track going through there. So you guys are going to have some above average precipitation. Where I'm anticipating seeing some more snow would be pretty much in Idaho. They're going to get a lot of snow in Ohio and parts of Indiana. Illinois is going to be a little bit on the backside of this, so they're going to get probably more like kind of a... So a lot of this is going to be lake effect snow, actually. Lake effect snow driven through here. Not quite an Ohio River track, but very close. And then we're going to get a major cool down, though, by the end of... coming into the weekend into next week, we're going to get a blast of cold air that's going to come through the central United States, which will impact parts of New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, and Kansas and Oklahoma. Louisiana, Arkansas may get a little bit, but Mississippi and Alabama may not actually get affected by this cool down as much. Sadly for you guys in Florida, this cool down ain't going to reach to you guys, but there's going to be big Arctic intrusion that is forecasted to come through. So once again, we're going to get kind of a storm track, something like this. Well, we have some sort of ridging over this area. It's going to kind of bounce back and forth. By next week, though, we're going to see another cutoff system that may develop right down here off the California coast and Gulf Coast. We have to keep an eye on that and see what happens and see if that does actually develop. And again... Okay, so now let's cover the areas where there's below average. So, Florida is going to pretty much not get anything for the next several days. They're going to be completely quiet. I'm not anticipating any thunderstorm activity, no tropical activity, which is good. Up the East Coast, though, it's going to be dry. Now, I've heard that there are some major wildfires in New Jersey and parts of Massachusetts and those states, which is not good. They've been getting hit by some large wildfires. If this decides to push a little bit further to the east, some of this above average, which could be possible, because there's been a trend in forecasting models that it's going this way. If that does happen, likely New Jersey and parts of like New York and stuff like that, Massachusetts, all that, Pennsylvania, will maybe be able to contain those wildfires a little bit more. Well, generally across the southern tier of the United States, from pretty much Texas to Arizona, it's going to be slightly below average. I see some higher shadings here and here, partly because in those two areas, I'm expecting where the systems are going to they're going to get some cutoff lows, but when they come through this area, there's going to be weak subtropical jet, which you will see in my overall forecast, that are going to kind of fall apart in these slightly dry areas. Like I said, sadly though, they're not gonna be able to hit the Delta or really the Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, that area. Florida's gonna definitely miss out on this. Sorry about that, guys, in Florida. Alright, now we're gonna move on to temperature outlook. This is what I see in temperature. So this is what I was talking about, that cold air intrusion. Now see, because it's still kind of far out, I'm not gonna have this all the way down here like that. Because it's still kind of far out, so that cold air intrusion or Arctic outbreak that may occur is going to stay northward for right now, or kind of in the northern half of the United States. And as we get closer, when forecasts are getting modified, this may go north or it may go south. We don't know yet, but we're going to keep an eye on it. While pretty much from southeastern New Mexico all the way to Florida, it's going to be mostly above average. I do believe that there's going to be some heat wave, well, not major heat waves, and I'm not talking about like 90-degree heat waves or even upper 80s, but parts of Florida and in Mississippi River Valley, and lower Mississippi River Valley, I should be saying, in the Delta and all that, are going to experience probably some mildly warm temperatures. Because again, this is an anomaly map, so this is a map that goes based off of excuse me. It goes off of chances versus what's actually going to happen forecast wise. So again, pretty much very south, the very eastern part of Texas, southern Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida are likely going to experience well above average temperatures. Temperatures, I think, are going to reach anywhere from probably the lower 80s, especially primarily in this area I'm circling right there. So they'll be right around the Gulf Coast. I do believe that's where the warmest of them are going to be. Florida is going to be, on average, probably a little bit cooler, but still going to see some 80s down there too, sadly. And then Texas and southeast New Mexico could be experiencing some mildly warm temperatures. I believe that we are going to get some cold waves in pretty much this area I just circled, so southeastern New Mexico and western Texas. We're going to get some cold air blasts that are going to come through before this initial big pool of cool air comes down, if that happens. Now let's talk about the Northwest. Northwest is going to stay pretty much, colder than normal. So they're actually going to get some pretty good some pretty good snowstorms in the Colombian mountains. The northern Great Plains, we're going to get some storms that are going to come through there. But like I said on my preset map, they're going to kind of break apart like right about here, and then they're going to redevelop over the Great Lakes and Midwest. So we're expected to see those storms to be able to redevelop over the Midwest, and they're actually, sadly, are not going to hit, like I said, the Northeast that much. But I'm hoping that they can get a little bit more further this way to try to contain or torch out those wildfires a little bit. What I mean by I mean washing them out. Sorry, wrong terminology. While Michigan and Upper Peninsula plus Wisconsin, the northern parts of Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois can experience below average temperatures. So they're gonna probably see some like anywhere from the low 30s around the freezing mark to some maybe upper 30s at most in these areas. Well, where I'm seeing this, we're going to probably see some sub-zero temperatures starting to occur, because forecast models are hinting towards that. And there also could be, because this is the Rockies and Columbian Basin and all that, they're going to also definitely well below average. So we're probably going to easily get temperatures Anywhere from these areas that I just circled, so that'd be the Rocky Mountain range, anywhere from those areas in the Rocky Mountains, can experience temperatures well below zero because of this forecast. While the Columbia Basin and the Columbian Mountains are expected to have probably going to be kind of like the Rockies, sub-zero and below 0 degree readings, especially at night. So, by the way, this does cover both day and night. Alright, you guys ready to see my finished product? Here we go. Yoink. And there it is. Don't be overwhelmed by this. I'll be able to break it down for you guys. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I will be able to break this down. And it's, I'll go kind of by large regions here. So the Northwest. We're going to experience multiple systems that are going to be hitting the Northwest. So because of that, there's going to be areas of low pressure here, where I just drew this L, that are going to be kind of generally. So in the forecast I was looking at, I am seeing about 3 major systems that are going to come through here, plus some minor systems. This, by the way, if you're wondering what this is, this purple line, that's the northern jet. Because of that cold air intrusion, the forecasts are picking up on towards the end of their runs. This is definitely going to change, especially for this area. Like, I think this area is going to change a lot. As of right now, though, I am not anticipating very much of a major change right now. So pretty much from anywhere where you see a lot of this orange shading is where it's going to be mostly mild and dry as of right now. Despite there being a cutoff low, this is why I did draw a weak subtropical jet pattern here, because it's going to be a cutoff low feature. It's going to be off the California Gulf Coast that may form. This cutoff low is going to kind of just die from the main jet stream, and it's expected to kind of just sit here for a while, and it's going to slowly tread across Arizona, New Mexico, then make its way up towards the Great Plains and then the Midwest, and it may or may not reform in this area. But this system's going to be a slow moving one from what I've been seeing, so it's going to like kind of do something like that. But it's going to be really slow. It's going to be one system though, so that's another reason why I am drawing mostly dry. Now, I'm going to cover Mexico real quickly. Western half of Mexico is going to stay cool. They're not going to get much in the way of rain or snow or storms at all. Despite this cutoff low, which is why I'm actually drawing a colder and western half of Mexico, because that cutoff low. While eastern half of Mexico is going to experience really dry and pretty much mild weather. Florida, dry, mild. Pretty much no. I'm not anticipating any storms at all over Florida for the next 7 to 10 days. And then now the Great Lakes in the Midwest, you guys could be seeing some lake effect snow with these systems. Some pretty impressive lake effect snow from what I've seen in the models. So you guys may get some big time lake effect snows pretty much across all of Ohio, Indiana, parts of Illinois. Wisconsin and Michigan aren't going to get it as much because they're going to be kind of on the leeward side of these systems. Michigan may get a little bit more, but Wisconsin is not really anticipating on getting anything regarding, at least not too much snow. Now let's cover Canada really quick. So this part of Canada, which is just north of the Great Lakes, could be a little bit drier. We're going to see storms in here, so just because I did drew a drier pattern over that part of Canada, it's doesn't mean it's going to be fully dry. I think you guys are going to get some snow and rain in that area. While the eastern part of the Canadian Prairie, you guys could be experiencing a lot more wetter conditions from systems that are going to be forming. They're going to do something like that. Like I said, that's what the purple line is. The northern jet, and then the western part of the Canadian Prairie could be experiencing a lot of snow, which is good. A lot of storms and snow, because as we know, this past summer, the Canadian Prairie and most of Canada had some nasty wildfires, and pretty much the Columbian, and I'm not sure what the name of this part of Canada is, but most of Western Canada was extremely hot and dry. They've had some massive wildfires. I don't know how those trees are doing so well up there. Just some nasty wildfires. So overall, this is what I'm looking. So we're going to have storms that are pretty much just going to tread across the United States like that. While most of the activity is going to stay to the north, pretty much north of this long arrow line I drew. While we're going to get one or two cutoff systems that are going to come down and do something like that, and they're going to get caught up, obviously, once they get past the Great Plains, you're going to get caught up into that jet stream. So yeah, by the way, there is going to be a lot of ridging mostly over Texas, sadly, again. While the ridge, like I said, will bounce either west or east at times, as the forecasts have been showing that. But generally, overall, it's going to stay right over Texas. And despite, us getting a major cutoff low, that's going to come off the California Gulf Coast. We'll keep an eye on this pattern, and we'll see where it's going to take us. And as you guys can see, I have the title up there of this forecast, 7 to 10 day for overall forecast. It's an extended outlook. It's not a full winter weather forecast, so just so you guys know. But that's all I about have to share with you guys. This, again, is my last slide. I really hope you guys like this new content that this new system that I came up with. Only because it does take about 5 to 7 hours previously in making the forecast. By the way, before I end off the video, I need you guys to listen to this real quickly. The other reason why I don't do that anymore is because the weather changes pretty much every hour. So by the time I'm done uploading my video, the weather by that point in time would have changed significantly. So this is going to be something I'm going to do for now. This is going to be probably my permanent forecasting system I'm going to use. Because, again, guys, it will change. And once by the time the video is uploaded, it's going to be outdated. It's not going to be, valid anymore. So this is the reason why I'm going to stick with overall forecasts regarding the weather. So if you liked my breakdown and if you liked my new forecasting system, I hope that you did. Please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and share with family and friends. See what they think about this new system. All right, I will talk to you guys in the next video. You all have a good evening.